as I said, the government is back open. Now, just so we're clear, there were 6 departments that needed to be funded. 5 of them are done. The president signed them through September 30th. One of them, DHS, has a 14-day. Now, that encompasses Secret Service, Coast Guard, FEMA, TSA, a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. That's funded for 14 days. Happy Valentine's Day. Yep. And I don't see this thing getting resolved anytime soon. Democrats are hell-bent on a bunch of crazy reforms that just no one's going to buy off on. It's just not going to happen. So I'm just telling you now, that's where I think this thing is headed, just so you know. But Congressman Chip Roy of Texas, he has been a champion of election integrity. He is the leader of the Save America Act and the SAVE Act. He is going to join us in just a moment to talk about the latest, because there's a lot going on. That was what Anna Paulina Luna and a lot of these folks focused on when it came to why they wanted what they wanted in the bill that went back to the Senate. This president said, I need a clean bill. I need to get the government back open, but we'll get you a vote. I'm going to show you a clip in just a minute from John Thune, though. It's got me a little queasy, and I want to get Chip Roy's take on this thing. So, but before I do that, and the other thing, I mentioned this at the beginning, the Clintons have both agreed to testify in a deposition. That's going to be, I think, February 24th and 3rd or something like that. I'll have those. But here's the difference. Just so we're clear, in a hearing, and we've talked about this with some of these members, Jim Jordan, whatever before, the witness sits there and the members take their turn and they each get 5 minutes and goes Republican, Democrat. And frankly, you guys have seen this before. They all make a speech and then they say, yes or no, do you agree? And you don't learn anything. The deposition is behind closed doors because it's staff attorneys that do this. And each attorney usually gets like an hour or 90 minutes or whatever, and they can go down a thread. Did you say this? Follow up. It's much more productive. They've agreed to videotape this, which will obviously get released. The Clintons want this all out and open. I get it, because they want to go back and forth and spar with these members of Congress. But I'm telling you, also keep your eye on what goes on behind the scenes in the lead up to this, because I don't think the White House wants the precedent of a president. You like that? Sounds good. Alliterative. They don't want the precedent of the president having to testify in front of Congress. And they're going to be a little careful as to what they push Congressman Chairman Comer to do with the Clintons, because I don't think they want to be in a situation in 2 or 4 years. But that's just my take on all this stuff. So before I bring in Chip Roy, though, I want to give you a heads up as to what Tom Homan said this morning in Minnesota about where things stand on his efforts to get rid of criminals in Minneapolis in particular. Take a look.
We currently have an unprecedented number of counties communicating with us now and allowing ICE to take custody of illegal aliens before they hit the streets. Unprecedented cooperation. And I'll say it again. This is efficient, requires only 1 or 2 officers to assume custody of a criminal alien target rather than 8 or 10 officers going into the community and arresting that public safety threat. This frees up more officers to arrest or remove criminal aliens. More officers taking custody of criminal aliens directly from the jails means less officers on the street doing criminal operations. This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement. It's safer for the community, safer for the officers, and safer for the alien. This coordination also makes it far more safe for the Twin Cities. Arresting a public safety threat and the safety and security of a jail is the safest thing we could do. Further, less public safety risks are being released back into the communities, reduces recidivism, so local law enforcement can direct their limited resources to other public safety matters in their community. This is another priority of President Trump.
Now, I want you to understand why what Tom said was so important. These ICE agents, the CBP agents, all these agents were going in, and because Minneapolis is a sanctuary city and Mayor Fry said, we're not going to help you and support you, when they go do something, they have to protect themselves, right? That sounds silly, but they normally would get in a normal city the support of the local police officers to do crowd control or to make sure that they could go get the target, the bad guy, the criminal. But Minneapolis said, nope, we're not cooperating with any of you federal agents. So then they had to bring in more federal agents to protect the federal agents that were going to get the person. And what Tom said there was critical. It's not less, it's smarter. This is what we should have been doing all along. This is what happens in other cities. Part of the reason that Minneapolis is unique because they wouldn't help them. They literally said our officers are directed not to help. They're finally coming to their senses. And the word that he said, maybe I'm just picking up on this, but he said county. It was almost like that the state and the locality. I don't know if that was just me, but I'm telling you, it's almost like enough people have come to their senses and say, and then he talked about going into the jails. And that's important too. Safest place. These people are arrested. We know where they are. They're in a jail. If you just turn them over, we don't have to bring them out in public again. They don't pose a threat to the general public in Minneapolis. But part of the problem was that they were blocking that. They were taking these people that were known criminals that they had in their jails and then releasing them back out. It's a fact. At least now we're doing something that makes sense. And that's why I think he used the right word. It's smarter. All right. I want to get back to what we're going to talk about with Congressman Chip Roy. Because there are things that just make sense and you wonder why Congress can't do them. And this is one of them. Why are we not requiring photo ID? This is CNN showing you the support that photo ID has. Take a look.
Take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote.
So something of a no.
This is CNN. I mean, that's like, if even CNN has to admit that, you know we have a point here. This isn't like a 55, 60% issue. Look at those numbers. 85% white, 82% Latino, 76% black. It's frankly racist to say that black people can't get an ID. That's what the liberal white folks claim. Oh, it's such a burden for these folks, these minorities, these poor people. But yet none of them actually say that when they get asked it themselves. It's so racist. I mean, this liberal narrative that these people can't get an ID is crazy. And I'll bring this up with Chip Roy in a second, but let me get this straight. You do know that as of this week, you will get fined if you go to an airport and don't have a real ID. Fined $45. It's amazing. Rasmussen did a whole nother poll as well. Is it requiring a photo ID a reasonable measure to protect the integrity of election? Yes, all voters, men 74, women 74, young people 78, 30 to 39, 80% yes, 40 to 49, 76. 50 to 64, 77%, 65 plus. Yes, it is unbelievable. Age-wise, demographic-wise, gender-wise, everybody supports this except for this small minority in the left. I'm going to go down this rabbit hole with Chip Roy, but we all know why. Because this is key to their power. I mean, it's unbelievable. But here's the problem I have, and I'm going to go right at it with Chip Roy in a second. This is John Thune yesterday, the Senate Majority Leader, talking about how they're going to make the SAVE Act work or not over there. Take a look.
Right. Well, I guess, and I would just remind people that the coin in the realm in the Senate is floor time. There's a finite amount of it. And we have a lot of things we have to do. There's a housing bill that's awaiting action, hopefully a market structure bill, possibly permitting reform, farm bill, highway bill. You can go right down the list. Russia sanctions, there are a whole bunch of things that could be teed up for action on the floor of the Senate. And so you have to make some judgments, and the conference will have a conversation about that. I've committed to that we will talk about that idea and determine whether or not what the conference's views are about it.
You know what? Like, this is ridiculous. We'll talk about that idea. We got all this other stuff. I mean, we're so busy. You guys don't do anything. You're never there. But this is mealy mouth crap. I'm sorry. This should be a massive priority. It's a presidential priority. It's a House priority. It's a base priority. I just read you the poll numbers. Make time. It's like anything else in life. If it's a priority, you make time. But we've got to do this farm bill. Okay. Force the Democrats. Name names. Let's cut this out. This is ridiculous. We vote every day with so many of the things that we do. And one of the things that we can change what we do and make a big difference is our cell phone carrier. Patriot Mobile has been at the forefront, not just of great service and great cell phone service, but of being an activist company that supports great causes. I'm telling you it is amazing. If you want, you can switch your phone over to Patriot Mobile right now, and they run on all the same top tier cell phone service providers. So you're getting the same thing as AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. They've got 100% US premium service. It is unbelievable. So you pick up the phone, you're actually talking to someone in America. It's great. You get unlimited data, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and more. But here's the cool part that I love. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, it's not just great service that you're getting, which you are. You'll help grow a movement that fuels Christian conservative causes. Every time that you do that, a portion of those profits that they have, instead of going to woke causes that the big corporate providers do, they're talking about faith, family, and freedom. So when you switch over, it is easier than ever. You can activate and switch over to Patriot Mobile in just a few minutes. You keep your number, you keep your phone. You can even upgrade if you really want. Take a stand today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Spicer, or you can give them a call at 972-PATRIOT and use promo code Spicer for a free month. That's patriotmobile.com/Spicer, or give them a call at 972-PATRIOT and use promo code Spicer. You get a free month. This is not like the Democrats. They know the public support. I read it to you at the beginning. They know what's going on, and they're doing everything to stop it, because as soon as we get inside the game and change it so they can't do all the stuff that they really want to do, they lose. They know that. I mentioned to you guys the other day, the way the census is working out, it's going to be a 9-seat electoral vote pickup for Republicans. The way people are moving in this country screws them, the Democrats. They know this. The jig is up. And so they need to do everything possible to keep people in this country illegally, to help get them to vote. I know everyone, what do you think they're doing? They opened the borders. They allowed people to come in, and then they fight to keep them here. This chaos isn't by chance. It's not getting funded out of nowhere. They know exactly what's at stake. I'm just telling you. I've talked to you before about all this. They're weaponizing the language. They're doing everything they can. You wonder why all this stuff happened, right? Why is Minneapolis unique? And I've said it all before. Played you the Tom Coleman clip at the beginning. I want to understand that, like, when you have listened to all the rhetoric on the left, you believe in your bones that ICE and everything is evil. Listen to how Jerry Nadler, he is a seasoned veteran of the House Democratic Caucus, a congressman from New York. I want you to listen to how he talks about these people who are doing their job to enforce the law of the United States. Go.
What is really the major problem in this country today is the fascism in our streets. The attacks on American citizens by masked hoodlums. If you were attacked by a masked person, you might think you were being kidnapped. You'd be justified in shooting the person to protect yourself.
Masked hoodlums. Those are federal agents. They actually wear little things that say federal agent, police. You would be justified in killing them. Does that not sink? I mean, where is that comment? Why is that not getting all over the place? I mean, think about this. This is a senior member of Congress. This is it's not some student council. And yet, I bet you many of you are hearing about that clip for the first time on this show. The guy's saying, you're justified in killing a federal agent because they're hoodlums. They're not law enforcement agents. They're not enforcing the law. They're hoodlums. And you're justified in killing them. We talked about this in the lead up to Charlie Kirk's assassination. They demonize everybody on the right, Hitler, Nazi. They inspire these people. They create this environment that it's okay. There was no outrage when the CEO of United Health got killed, because they believe that they're justified in taking out and killing people and committing acts of violence. Think about this. On our side, for the last 4 years of Biden, you didn't use somebody's pronoun. You were canceled. You could be fined or put in jail or whatever. They attack federal agents. They destroy federal property. They vandalize stuff and nothing. These guys should be all getting arrested. John Solomon was talking about this yesterday. Why are we letting them off the hook? If you go hit a federal officer or you kick a vehicle or whatever, round them up. Give them a record, put them in jail, fine them. I don't care. But I don't know why we are so silent on this. But there was another big story that didn't get a lot of news yesterday. I don't think, at least. I don't know if you heard about this, but there's this lab in Vegas, in Las Vegas, that got raided, and it uncovered an illegal biolab. And guess what? It's very similar to one in California, and it's all run by Chinese nationals. They found, check this out, this is what investigators found. Thousands of vials of blood and tissue, genetically engineered mice designed to carry COVID. What? Genetically engineered mice designed to carry COVID. Tests showed that the vials contained COVID, hepatitis, and malaria. Investigators linked the lab to the CCP. Hello? What? This is and by the way, they're saying that it's linked to one that they found in California. This isn't like some drug stash house with a bunch of coke or pot or, meth or even, fentanyl. These guys are looking to like poison the United States. They're figuring out how to carry COVID in here. And we're all like, what? What's going on? What's happening? This is all happening on the heels, by the way, of new photos that have come out of congressmen trying to run for governor, Eric Swalwell, who met with top CCP officials. Some people are saying it's very disturbing. Hello, you think? It's unbelievable. Like, we're all watching this happen in real time. And yet, I don't know why there's not more concern, more alarm bells going off. There's a lab in Vegas and a similar one apparently in California. All this is happening. Democratic members of Congress are linked to the CCP. And we're like, gosh, what should we do about this? I'm blown away. They're buying up farmland. It's all beneath. I mean, they did a spy plane over us or a balloon during Biden. We got to wake up. We have to wake up and realize the threat that we're facing. We'll continue to cover it. We got it all figured out. I appreciate you all being with us. Well, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get more.